All right, so in this one, we are going to be reacting to Virgil, my buddy, my pal, his tier list here. And I've seen it. I haven't seen an explanation. I've seen it. I don't remember everything, but it's interesting. Damage is King is the title. I think that kind of makes you assume who's number one. My top 10 best units, Dragon Ball Legends Fest 2025 edition. Let's see what he's cooking up with. I'm reacting to this because I know there's some takes that I know I don't agree with. And again, everyone can have their opinion. I think my tier list is actually one of my better ones that I've ever made. I think it's pretty easy to go through. You know, sometimes you make a list, as some I've done, and you're kind of hesitant on like some spots. You're like, I get that in the moment, but then you look back, you're like, it's a bit faded for me. With this one, for me, my own personally, if you disagree or agree with it, that's fine. It doesn't, you know, it's whatever. We can all have our different opinions. I feel as though with mine, though, I'm much more confident than I've ever been with the tier list. I think it's very simple, a top 10 right now, honestly. It's very difficult to have a different one than the other person. But hey, this one's different, and I want to see what he was cooking and what he was speaking about it, so let's get into it here.
What's going on, you guys? It's Virgil, and in this one, I'm going to be updating my top 10 best units in Dragon Ball Legends during the Legends Festival Part 1. We do have... or 2025 Part 1. Of course, we do have the Synchro Gauge Fusing Super Gogeta,
Of course.
the LF Janemba, and the 1% Sparking Goten.
Side note, he doesn't even have LF
characters right here.
So he's ranking him without even using them.
Some meta shifters for sure. They're very good.
It's a tough one to do.
A bit slept on from what I've seen, and you know, believe it or not, obviously, I think people are just going to glaze Gogeta, but they're all great.
He's
Janemba,
right.
Seen a little bit of downplay. I personally, this is going to be my first list, if you know, at all, ever. Not having the character on initial release and having to rate him objectively from just my encounters with him. I'm currently top 50 PvP global, so
I'm top 12
plenty
right now.
of top
over there.
encounters.
So, hey, we're all cooking.
Good,
we're all top 15.
There's no way that
I'm top 12 when I start recording this.
/ accurate to the extent, because I know I can, you know, really get a feel for this character if I had him and able to utilize him on all his best tags. But really great option right now. Of course, all of the best units kind of have his tagging, so he just has the benefit of all the doubts right now. So we take a look at all the best units in the game right now.
It's really all it is,
pretty
but
much
hey, there,
exist
it's enough.
on his tags.
Gogeta,
So top
fusions,
5
but that's
characters,
it. But he has movies.
PO, regen, really disgusting options. I think Android 13 is the best valued character in the game. All the units kind of revolve around him. His support is just like immense.
That phrasing is weird to me. I heard that because I watched like literally up to here, maybe 2 minutes into the video. They revolve around him. I get like you want to run units around him, but revolving around unit kind of means you're trying to deal with the character usually. You know, the game revolved around Blue Beast. It wasn't revolving around Red Panda or Puddle. The game revolved around Blue Kaioken Goku, not Vados, who was supporting him. I think revolving around is more so he revolves around his allies, and then the person that's revolving around the game right now, whether it be CMZ or MZ, those are the main two ops that people would have because they were the pre-festival god tiers. Now they're still up there, but maybe they're hurt a little bit. I think actually Red MZ is the one you're kind of looking at here, and you know, maybe I am nitpicking, but I think that phrasing is just, I don't know if it's incorrect. It's backwards. He's using it backwards here. Because 13's revolving around everybody else. They're not necessarily needing him, but they prefer him. They don't need him, I would say. I don't think any unit needs him besides Janemba, because he's very obviously relying on him. But Janemba's not in that top 5 talk. I mean, I don't think so. If he is to you, then, you know, let's discuss, I guess, because I don't see
valuable. So it's just how it was in this previous meta where
look at Zenkai cooler there, bro. Vibing.
Still one of the best teams in the game easily, but you know,
I actually said his slot's still the best team in the game. I don't think it's changed. I've used it so much.
Another thing,
if you have CMZ, I know I'm babbling, but I'm going to babble. It's a reaction video. Just a side note, if you have CMZ, start 2xing him. Stop 2xing your Red MZ. I've always been Red MZ 2x him because 14 stars, just glaze him more. Just make him be omnipotent. Start glazing your CMZ. My 8-star CMZ. My team with that trio is 5-star, 8-star, 14-star. The LF 13, 5-star, 8-star CMZ, and 14-star MZ. My CMZ solos the game. He's only 2x Zenkai buffed, which you could do with MZ or CMZ. I think you should do it with, again, CMZ there. And then you could put the last bench as a Red MZ Zenkai buffer. He's soloing. He's almost OKOing. Defense neutral of Gogeta, of pre-Gogeta. And that's the main unit. You're kind of like, okay, something could happen here, right? That's not of CMZ and MZ. Start 2xing your CMZs, bro. I guarantee you'll be like, wow, Like, your eyes will open beyond where they've been. Trust me. Just trust me on it. A little bit.
Dive in, if you guys do break this like goal of 555
Yeah, like his video,
likes,
like
I
my
will be doing
video.
a final
I'll give you a
summons
Lamborghini
in a
if
video
you do it.
format for LF Janimba. So 50 coins. Have not pulled this one yet.
And
I'm gonna be
Roblox.
trying to get a copy without using the pity
He hasn't
and
pulled
all of that stuff, so I
50.
could get you guys a showcase ASAP. So definitely like this
Isn't
video.
it
I'm gonna be
40K
starting
for
out with the
pity?
number 10, moving up all the way to the number
Golly,
1,
that's
and then
tough.
doing honorable mentions right afterwards. And this was actually the true thing I wanted to touch. I feel like this always has to be set in tier list because people seem to forget the key about meta tier list is that individual is not the main point when breaking down a meta tier list. This is going to be a really great example is that Frieza, everybody knows, one insane individual character. He's got so much in his kit. Great.
Top 10.
Metal Cooler, the opposite of that. Very, flatline. He's got like a couple of different, he basically a beat stick with multiple lives. So not as great individually. I will say in this meta, especially since his buffs, he holds easily more value than full power Frieza. And if you don't understand, hold on. I'm going to be rating him in a little while. I'm going to be placing him in my top 10 list. I believe Metal Cooler is a better unit than full power Frieza. So there you go. So he gained value. He wasn't better before.
I'm going to wait for the full explanation. I'm just questioning this for you and I. The unit that just dies. And Super Gogeta, by the way, could victimize him because Gogeta, green card, we're neutral, we're going crazy. He spawns a green when he does fuse anyways, and he spawns infinite cards, it feels like, when he is comboing you as Gogeta. That guy could murder Cooler. The damage guard helped him a little bit, but didn't do anything. It actually probably made him worse. I heard Goresh say this, which I actually agree with, which I very minuscule agree with Goresh on Metal Coolers. I do think there was something to him, something at some point. Maybe nothing crazy, but there was just something there that was just a bit over slandered. Again, I'm not a Metal Cooler fan. It's just, I just always felt there was just 1% more levity you could give him. But he said this probably made him worse, and that's probably true because you're just keeping this guy alive while he's doing minuscule disrupt and 0 damage, and it's just like, all he's doing is making you lose and stalling timers so you keep losing. He does not have a disrupt to stop anything. Obviously, I disagree that he's top 10 because he's saying he's top 10 or at least above Frieza. Regardless of what happens to or against Frieza, which, by the way, this update literally did nothing. You could even argue CMZ got hurt because, here's Janemba. I don't agree, but here's Janemba and here's Gogeta that go neutral. CMZ must be hurt. Gogeta could rush CMZ. So wouldn't that make Frieza go up, though? Wouldn't that exactly do that? If CMZ goes down, then Metal Cooler would have to go down further, and then Frieza would go up more. So I'm just saying how, on paper, it looks as though clearly most of us, I would think, don't think Metal Cooler's top 10. If we do, hey, again, let me know why. I'm curious.
Or previously, this meta kind of just evolved to a position where this guy has crazy value, and you're going to see why in a second here. But I'm going to be starting out with my number 10 placement. We do have Future Gohan. Great addition to the game. So like I was saying earlier, Android 13, the meta kind of revolves around
10.
So all the support.
The Puddly Boy is 10?
Him, he kind of plays that exact same role, but worse. I don't want to even say it's bad, but yeah, he plays that support role, infinite support. He's got great utilities, great individual as well. He could pull off the offenses if he really need it. The pure tags are still holding very well. So if you wanted to run pure future, it is still a top competent lineup. Not too many purples, I would say. So you don't have to, he doesn't have much to worry about on the offensive POV, but great character, great filler option if you needed the support character because all the...
I get why he's not like higher because I think I had him like tied with Nanagoku at like 7 or 8 or whatever the hell it was. It wasn't too much further, but 10 sounds just crazy because like there's definitely more 10 candidates that are, well, 10 worthy. 10. I get it, he's just a worse 13, but it's not like he's leagues worse. I don't know about 10. 10 is 10 is really like, I'm shocked. Is this implying Metal Cooler is better than Puddle? There's no way. Oh, all right.
Best units, I feel like don't require the support, but operate in their best with the support. So that's just how it is. Future Gohan's making a great placement at that top 10 range. Number 9 on my list is a sleeper option, GT3Ku. Star gated character for starters. I'm rating all these characters at max, by the way. So a unit like Janemba, I'm just gonna have to assume also at max. But this guy, he's a monster. He just does way too much damage. And with the new green unit in the game, he's purple.
Yet again, SG could just victimize him regardless. Janemba could victimize this little shit. I understand he's gonna be neutral every single time they swap, whatever. Brother, he dies in, he's like IT Goku. He dies in 3. He does great damage when you get him going and he gets his gauge and he gets going. But most times you ever fight this unit, if you ever even fucking fight this unit, by the way, he'll be dead within 5 cards. Like what? For what? What did he do? What did he gain?
Combat against and partner with. So if we're running this team right here,
this team's horrible. This team's horrible. It's so squishy. This is the whole issue with Super Gogeta being a ranged unit. Thankfully, his stats are more even, so you can build him strike-based. But him being a ranged unit, this is the whole problem with him. This team is squishy as shit. You die to everything. If you fight a CMZ, you're dead. You fight an MZ, you're dead. You fight another Gogeta, you're dead. You fight a UV4, you're dead. You fight anything in the game, this team's one combo, life pop. One combo, life pop. It's shit. Frankly, this team is shit. Even with Android 13 here instead of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's squishy as fuck. Gogeta has 0 disrupts winning Gogeta. UV4's card cost upping is not going to do enough for you because you can't just burst him down because he is not a tank. 13, he's going to lose his fucking first life in 3 cards. We know how 13 goes. And GC3 Ku's just a shitter, so why the fuck's he even here? This team is awful. Every range team for Gogeta, you'll notice you never really even see him on a range team when you fight him. It's on a movie team, a strike team, whatever the fuck. Mostly a movie team. You don't see a range team because this team is so squishy. It doesn't do anything. When you can run him with MZ or with, I guess, CMZ, because he can at least have some attrition sustainability, not great defense, but still attrition, compared to the other two here, fucking the 2 GT fucks. This is just a nothing. This is such a nothing team. And even running it, because like, oh, everyone's running strike defense, because, here's CMZ, and here's MZ, and here's everybody else, that's all strike-based. Even because you have all that additional damage because there's no blast defense on the opposing team, it's still not worth it because you are only having blast defense and they're all having strike attack, and then you're just getting fucked even faster than you would initially. So this team is awful. It is. It's probably the worst team you can make for Super Gogeta that he wants to be on. Obviously, playing 13 here makes it better, but it's still not a good team. It just doesn't. You die. This is a PV them and outplay them the entire match or die team. There's no leeway on this team. With CMZ, MZ 13, there's leeway. With MZ, CMZ, and Gogeta, there's leeway. There's leeway. Even there, it's kind of not a lot because you ain't have fucking endurance, and MZ could just rush you, Gogeta could just rush you. But still, there's leeway. 13, I've seen 13, Namek, and fucking SG. Yeah, there's leeway. This team, literally none. You get caught before 30 counts, you'll probably end up losing almost 2 units. That's how bad it could go for you if you just are getting smoked. And even if you're winning, they have more leeway, more safety than you. This team is genuine. No, disrespect, but this team is not good. This team is shit. That's just what it is. It's not a good team at all.
Very well. GT is still a top.
It's too squishy.
Game. I think UV4 is obviously
UV4 is amazing, but he has no teammates. That's his whole issue. He has all squishy allies that just die.
Vanishes. He does have pretty much glass cannon tendency. So, like I said, he might be a bit fraudulent at lower stars. In general,
he's glass cannon at 14.
But
you know why I know? I played World Championship. I kept fighting him, and he was doing fucking nothing on defense. Motherfucker was dying. He was hitting, but he was dying. That's the point. It was GT mirrors.
He has support buffs for the entire lineup there. So if you're getting support from him, this 3 combination is going to go stupendous. So I'm going to have him comfortably at my number 9 placement. My number 8,
I forgot this guy made the list.
Is going to be
Metal Cooler's higher.
I think UV4 right now?
Number 8?
UV4, you're probably thinking like, wow, UV4 is kind of low from where he used to be. He is super tied to GT. He's a great individual character, but he's not very team versatile. Despite having like the blast option in this meta I just showed you guys, this is a very good lineup, but there's not so many different options for UV4, as well as I think there's just a lot of better options, a lot of better teams overall in the game. So,
this is always the troublesome thing where I see UV4 placements, because I always see him very low, and I'm just thinking, like, obviously you have to factor both. In every single unit, you have to factor both individuality to their teams, and how they can flow on the teams that they're on, and how they fit on the teams they're on. UV4's individuality is still, to me, top 3. He's individually, maybe even still number 1. Individually, he might just be still the best unit in the game. But his teams are his flaws. Are his teams such a flaw and, I guess, wishy-washy setting with 13 and Super Gogeta? Again, I don't think that team's perfect, but I definitely think it's UV4's best, and he definitely can fit on it and definitely do a lot of work. Do I think that team is so shit that he's barely above GT3 Riku? I assume he's below Metal Cooler on this list. I mean, is it that bad as teams? There's no way, right? I mean, I don't think so. I don't perceive it as that. I think UV4 still has such a dominant force within his own individuality, regardless of the team, that he's got to be minimum top 6. Minimum. And putting him, I know it's just 2 spots, but 6 to 8 is, it's not close, 6 to 8. I mean, he's borderline not even being on the list at that point if he's 8. 8 through 10 is always those wishy-washy spots. Apparently, I love this fucking word today. Those wishy-washy spots where, you know, here's 2 weeks from now, he's not even on the list because he's at the 8 through 10 area. That's always the scary spot. You don't want to be there. And UV4 definitely is not a character that deserves to be there.
Unfortunately, he does drop a couple of placements. Still very disgusting. You know, his utility.
He got buffed because he has Super Gogeta that's ranged, if anything.
Needed, the chain cards, very brain
that's how I'd
dead
see it.
character. And this is not to even downplay him. I just think there are ways to not only handle and take care of this character, wall off this character, and eliminate
wall
this
off, and he's talking about Metal Cooler.
Gogeta has the endurance nullification, so characters, you know.
You just said wall off UV4 and then showed me Metal Cooler in front of my face. Wall off, and we're talking Metal Cooler, bro. I've used him with the buff, by the way. I'm not talking out of ignorance here. Trust me, I tried him day 2, day 1, I think, even, of everything. We're definitely not talking out of ignorance here from my end. So I know. I double Zenkai buffed it, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't wall off. I'm sorry, Metal Man. Your 55% damage guard buff ain't do jack shit, unfortunately. Wall off UV4 is a fucking insane claim, bro. That's insane.
Blitzed, if you're getting 2 to 3 carded, he's one of those guys that like might fall a victim to a snipe kill by Super Gogeta.
Yes,
and
most units will.
It's not
Super Gogeta does great damage. He's amazing damage.
A team cause, but yet locked behind GT for the most part. He has a very minimal variety. And, you know, GT3 Riku's his best partner, so I am placing him here. These guys are still going to go absolutely crazy together. Number 7. Wow. This is going to shock a lot of people, but I had to be the one to do the testings, and if you guys have been on the live streams, you've seen it. Metal Cooler is making a crazy rags to riches story here. Definitely underwhelming on initial release and has been slowly gaining value with all the PO drops. So first it was 13 Final Form Cooler. We got MZ, CMZ, and there was just plenty of options for him to exist on lineups for the exact same job. Now you have even more options. We have a green unit that does what he does, by the way. So just to touch on Gogeta really quickly, there's no other character in the game that's doing damage as quickly as him. It's just, he's just getting the job done like that. He's finishing games very fast. And
you're always going to 2x Gogeta. You're always going to 2x your CMZ. If you're, well, as I've learned, you should always be 2xing your CMZ. Again, both my LF Gogeta and my CMZ, because I saw people questioning, you know, Gogeta 4, what? Crazy. I'll talk about Gogeta when we get to Gogeta. I'm just saying, to this point, my CMZ is doing equal, if not more, damage than a Super Gogeta at the same exact star level, same exact burst potency, same exact Zenkai buffs, same exact thing, every time. Android 13 support, without Android 13, every single time, every single thing. As well as CMZ having the extra safety mechanics, after extra gimmicks that he could do, all that shit. Mind you, it's only Super Gogeta that's doing that crazy stuff. Whether it be an early or slow fusion that they have in their match, Super Gogeta is doing that. CMZ does it for the full 180. Here's however long you take to fuse, whether it be fast or slow, is when Gogeta ends up doing it. I'm just saying, they're equal stars for me. I have 0 biases here. I cannot have a bias because they are equivalent. Don't give a fuck about either fusion, hype or not, CMZ or Gogeta. I don't give a fuck about fusions. I just don't care about them as a hype thing. I think, you know, whatever. No. You can even argue UV4 bursts just as fast as Gogeta. I can't. My UV4 is 14, but my CMZ to MZ, or CMZ to Gogeta, equal. I guarantee you. Same thing, and CMZ has more utility. That just means he's better off.
Might be a
Simple.
key POV of this current meta. If you can fuse as fast as possible and kill characters as quickly as possible, it's what this guy can do. And Metal Cooler
Also,
is
he's very
protect
disruptible.
you from getting killed. And it's just as simple as that. He's still a beat stick. He's still got low utility, but he's got a lot of healing potential, especially on the lineup with Android 13. So if you're running a build like this, 13 and Super Gogeta.
Yeah, so the problem with this team is you have no fucking damage. You're relying on your solo unit to damage everything. There are times, because you will not get lucky 24/7, where Gogeta dies. Gogeta died. CMZ sniped them. You got caught on a sidestep. You made a misplay. Dead. You automatically lose. This is a 1v3 beyond belief team. This team does nothing when Gogeta's not active. When Gogeta's not in, you are fucking licking the air trying to find a purpose to do anything. This team is, again, bad. It's bad. The other team's too frail. Funny enough, this team's the opposite. It has bulk. It has the safety settings. Great. Love that. But you are licking the wall, just waiting for your Gogeta to come back in. MC doesn't have the sub-count manip to make Gogeta come back in faster. 13 does. Sure, keep 13. Obviously, he should be on the team. MC's licking it. He's just fucking in the air like, I'm still dying. Wow, I've been dying this whole time. Wait, I'm still dying again? Wowee. I'm getting 3-carded by other Synchro Gogetas, and I'm not doing any damage back. You're never going to use MC. Let's say your sub-counts do go down after the combo ends. You start catching them in the combo. MC's hitting them. Your Gogeta's ready, though. All right, MC's not here for damage anymore. You're not going to empty his gauge. You're going to go to Synchro Gogeta. Because you should. But because MC's damage is so shit is why you're doing that. That's the whole point. This team has 0 damage. The whole issue would be your Gogeta gets caught. You get sniped. You're not Jesus. You ain't going to fucking win every match perfectly. You're going to lose from time to time because you have this team where Gogeta died. Oh my god. You automatically forfeit. You can't win with this team. You kidding me? The other team he showed, it's more likely to win with because you have Super Gogeta and UV4 to clutch, but it's so frail he could die so quickly. This is not good. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is just bad. This is so overly reliant on subjective play than it is than objectivity of, well, natural things that happen. You're not always going to play perfect. You're going to lose your Gogeta. You're going to get killed over. You're not going to have him 24/7 perfect spot. And this team, it's horrendous. It really is. It's not good. You need a middle ground character. Middle Cooler is not a middle ground. He's not a red MZ. He's not. He's not a fraudulent one because he's not even close to one. He's shit. He's just shit. That's all he is. He doesn't do anything.
It's stupid. So, this is a team that I've been personally messing with. And, he heals all of...
I'm sure he wins with this team. Because subjectively,
you can somehow survive.
Maybe he just plays better.
Combos,
great.
First life.
But we're going for
all back up
consistency. Consistency, you can very easily lose this team just with one potential play. One play, you auto lose. You cannot win. That's not objective. That's subjective.
So he's definitely not going to be an option you'd want to pick first if you have him below like 7 stars. This is 14-star rating. He is ridiculous at that star range. He's a complete wall.
He's above UV4, bro. And Puddle.
Blue card nukes. Remember
that. I put GT3 Coup. Maybe above him.
We move over to number 6. We have the GOAT, Namek Goku, who has aged a lot better than Full Power Frieza, simply for his, not only the tags, right, Saiyans, it's really great aging tag. Purples right now, you're getting the job done against units like CMZ, 3Q, Metal Cooler. He's like one of the units that can easily bypass Metal Cooler if he tried because he cancels the neutral that he does have. But yeah, self-explanatory. He has the AoE green.
Sure, I'm fine with this.
Mechanic,
I think Namek's fine.
Guard.
It's the same area for me. Puddle is so fucking low, I'm just lost. Oh, is Kiku not top 10?
In the game right now, so if you
That's
want to
crazy.
Saiyan,
GT3Ku's above.
You can do that, or you can straight up run movies.
I've seen this team. This team's okay. I don't know. It's great.
The other way around, really, so you can make the most of
it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad.
So this
better than the other two teams you showed.
Is very disgusting. Namek Goku is that guy. And I see people rate him higher right now, which is kind of a bit questionable because this guy exists. MZ is just...
But they're talking about questionable. I see Metal Cooler above UV4. We can't, like, respectfully. This is not the time that we could say. I think there is a part of this that could be rage bait. Maybe it's, like, rude to even say that. But I do think, I think the Metal Cooler gas here is a little bit of rage bait. I don't think it's real. fully. I'm like 70% sure it's real, but like there's a cool 30 that's like this might be rage bait. Like I've done rage bait list. I've seen rage bait list. This could very easily be a rage bait cooler placement, metal cooler.
Nuclear as a red unit. But yeah, we're gonna have Nameku at 5. Number 6. We're gonna have number 5. The GOAT Janemba. So as you guys,
I agree. Janemba should be above.
Video, I do not have
Name
any
Goku.
copies
I
of
agree.
him. I have not
It's
used them. This
that
is
far, but
strictly off what I've seen.
he's new.
For Janemba,
He does his
so,
damage. Whatever.
Give or take.
I don't
I'm
like him, but
trying
whatever.
to give him the benefit of the doubt here. He looks insanely powerful. So his gimmicks, he looks, the extra vanish, the team dynamics, is pretty much everything he has access to. That's the best way to put it. It's hard to see this character not so high with everything that he has access to. So like all these different characters, if you wanted to run this, especially in Proud.
See, like having the availability to diversity helps a unit's value, but I think to a degree here, there's a bit of an overestimation of that value that it gives. Like, sure, Janemba has access to these partners. That's awesome. That's lovely for the guy. I'm so happy for him. But is that really why he is in that area? I mean, to a degree, teams do matter, but your individuality has to be on par with that team cohesiveness that you're allowed for yourself. And I'm not sure for some of these. Janemba, okay, I can understand it. I'm not hating on Janemba. I dislike the unit. I don't think he works very well, but I do understand he's still very good in a lot of situations where he can show out potential. I kind of laugh when I fight him, but I've seen him at times look competent, which, good enough. The yellows right now, they're kind of all weird. They're not really ever perfect in scenarios. Janemba has more perfect scenarios than most yellows. I'll give him that. And I don't know if he fills that team competency, because look at all these characters next to him that he's putting next to. He's easily worse than them all. It's not close how bad he is compared to them all. But everyone below, we're naming Goku, Metal Cooler, whatever, UV4's team thing. I get it. It's just...
It's not one thing.
He's just very easy that could
video,
just
but it's overall
flop.
meta,
That's
so
all I
standard
know.
and
That's all I
promo.
care about.
The options
I don't like his kit.
overlapping
I just
tags
don't.
is just
No card of entry,
stupendous.
bro.
There are some red units to get shit done. Another Stargated character, unfortunately, but that is only from my experience. This guy at high stars, he's just going to be able to heal the majority of the work up, and a little bit more, I guess, thoughtful character to use. He's not as brain dead as, you spamming cards, clicking, killing units fast. He's a little bit more like a trickster character. So I hope I pull him. I hope I can do that.
People said that about transforming Goku Black last year. I get he's not Gogeta. You know why? Because Gogeta's better. But like, people said that about Yellow Goku Black last year. You just have to use him better. You have to play smarter. He requires skill. This is Dragon Ball Legends. If anything requires skill, it's not good. Janemba doesn't require skill. You just have to have some forethought. That's not skill. That's common sense. I agree with the placement. I'm just saying, if any unit ever gets defended as skill or thought more so than others, it's not valid. It's not a valid thing, bro. No unit requires skill, I promise. It's Dragon Ball Legends, bro. Nothing requires skill here.
Video where I just finally get the job done and get a video out for him and try him on his best lineups right there. But I would assume it looks something like this. You got Android 13 supporting the 2 new characters. You could do MZ, CMZ. This powerful opponent setup, if you wanted to replace one for the support, it'd probably be ideal as well.
If he doesn't have 13, he's going to look very
really
shit.
Great from what I've seen. There that goes. It feels a little bit weird because I want to give you guys a accurate rating as possible. But now we're moving up to the top 4. I don't think this is... all these options right here, you can make arguments to like somewhat interchange them if you really wanted to, because it's not, they're not controlling the game right now. But the top 4 characters are easily the best 4 characters in Dragon Ball Legends right now. And I'm going to have to say the number 4 spot is going to be Corrupted Merge Zamasu. So he's a crazy field control. The gauge allows the rush to not happen to him so fast, but I believe Super Gogeta, funny enough, is able to bypass that.
True.
And yeah, he just plays a great counter to Super Gogeta as well. He's got a lot of healing potential. The best teams, everything that I've pretty much stated for like all these characters, they all play this like crazy damage role. Not a great defensive role, unfortunately. But I'm just gonna put these guys next to each other because that's where I have it. I have Merge Zamasu at...
I said this already. I'll re-say it here. This is how I perceive these units, the top 4 right now. So you got 13. His role is supporter and safety, because revival, and he's supporting because he supports. That's his kit. So 2 roles, right? 2 roles. You have MZ, the role of damage and defense, and even to a degree, a half degree, a disrupt. So that's 2 roles, yet again. CMZ, damage again, as well as a safety role within a similar vibe to the man of Android 13. Great, so 2 roles again. What do you see in Super Gogeta? He doesn't support. He has no support in his kit. What do you see in Super Gogeta besides his great damage? 1 role. Is he overwhelming so much damage to where he's outdoing Red MZ and CMZ by 10,000 miles? No, he's not. I would know. Again, the equal stars of my CMZ. I would know. Trust me. I would say if he was. Again, I don't give a fuck about Fusion Warriors. I have no bias with or against them. But he's not. So when he has that equivalency to 1-to-1 for 2 characters, but then those other 2 characters have extra roles, given you could say CMZ's is a little bit more wishy-washy because there is usages to usurp his rush within MZ Rush without proccing a card because he has it on the plat, or Super Gogeta Rush. There's a way to usurp it, but there's only a few ways to usurp it. So you could say, okay, Super Gogeta, CMZ, it's a bit debatable at that point because you're usurping his second role. But MZ? MZ is the only tank in the game. Super Gogeta has a 0 physical. And I refer to Super Gogeta because that's what everyone's referring to. No one's talking about the pre, because you don't have to talk about the pre. The matters is Super Gogeta. He has a 0 disrupt. Literal 0. Does nothing. Whatever it is, it's 0, right? It doesn't fucking make an impact. I've never had an impact within Super Gogeta disrupting my combo because he doesn't do shit with disruption. It's a 0. Red MZ will disrupt you. Red MZ will continuously do that. Red MZ hits in a similar caliber to Super Gogeta. So how in the world could he be below it? That's just my thoughts. 2-to-1. That's how I see it.
Number 3.
It's very simple to me.
Previously at number 1, right before the Legends Festival started. So these guys are still an insane duo. Both share all the same, existings together. If you're gonna see one, you'll probably see the other if you have access to it. I think this combo is quite disgusting.
Yep.
But just a ton of healing on this setup, especially this still holds a candle as one of the best teams in the game.
It is the best.
Ton of healing, sustainability, the healing on the green cards, the gauge here, the type neutrals, the paralyze, the field protection, rush protection, second life mechanic, and just sheer damage from this lineup. So you're probably thinking, how is this guy not number 1? The blues in this game, he's kind of unchecked. I think there's an argument individually where this guy overall might be better than who I'm going to have at the number 1 position. This is how I place it right here. Most valuable character in the game.
Well, he's saying MZ has a potential to be number 1 individually, but they share teams. You would run MZ with Gogeta if you were going to... What? Okay.
Team has him. If you have him any lower, like I can maybe see 3, but it's not right. Android 13 is easily the most valuable. It's like Red Pan in her prime, or like Future Gohan. The support is it.
I'm not gonna disagree with 13 being super valuable. Obviously, I know that. You know that. We all know that. It's just the phrasing of this character really is like he's Jesus. You would think 13 is hitting as hard as CMZ and MZ, the way people talk about how he helps the team so much. This unit hits for shit. He does. So he has flaws. He has negatives to him. He could very easily... I mean, he's not defensive. He's no defense. Like, he has utility of revival, clearly. But he's not defensive. This guy is a victim to any unit. Red MZ can victimize this unit. UV4 can victimize him. Every unit on this fucking list can victim. Maybe Metal Cooler can't, because Metal Cooler's fucking dog shit. He shouldn't be here. But every unit can victimize him. I think people are a little bit over-gassing this guy. Like, I even agree. He has 2 roles, a safety and support. Notice I'm not mentioning damage, because he doesn't do that. Notice I'm not mentioning defense, because he doesn't do that. You don't... Is it just as simple as I could say you don't need him? You can just have someone else. Clearly, it's going to be worse, right? Let's say I run Red MZ, CMZ, Namek Goku, Metal Cooler, Super Gogeta. Yeah, my team gets worse, obviously. But the way he gets spoken about as if, like, he is guaranteed you need to have him on your team where you really don't have much... I just feel like that's not accurate. I feel like that's very exaggerated. And it's not just him talking about it like this. I feel like everyone talks about 13, Like, you are crucified if you can't run him. You are just done. You shouldn't even be playing if you don't have him. That's just not real. Like, I get the reliance on him. I get what he does. I use him a lot. And it's just simple to use him. But you can... I think it's just easier to say. Him being not above the Zamasus is easier to say anything negative. I just feel as though their roles are more impactful in the match of their damage and the utilities, whether it be defensive or offensive, than 13's full finite thing. Because 13 can very easily, if he's not doing a support, if he's already revived, or if he's about to revive, with this one-time disrupt already popped, there's not much going on. It's like it's like you're saying you need red pan on the team 24/7, or you can't win. That just doesn't make sense. MVP, Puddle. Yeah, sure, it definitely benefits you to have them, but a need for a character? You need to be running CMZ. You need to be running Red MC. You need to be running Super Gogeta. You need to be running one of those three. There's no full need for 13. There's a want, there's a desire, but there's others that exist. Again, I still think he's top 3. I still think he's 3. I think he's better to roll in Super Gogeta because he has more roles fulfilled. But a full need, if there's anyone that's more needed, it'd be the more utility-based units in an offense manner than a defense manner. And he doesn't even have defense. It's just revival, yet again. I think there's just a little bit over-talking, overtly positive, when he really is like an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10 peak, but people talk like he's like a 9.9 out of 10. That's not it. That's just not it.
Almost a necessity to make these characters
case in point
as they can be. So a unit like Super Gogeta is just getting the job done much faster than a unit like CMZ or MZ. So these guys obviously can get it done fast. I'm not trying to like go tit for tat if you want to nitpick. These guys all honestly have the argument to get the same glaze, the same combinations, the same kind of ramp up going where they're gonna just do oonga boonga damage, have great utilities. And I honestly think CMZ might take the cake in overall utility, but bro, Super Gogeta, from what I've seen, I have this guy at the lowest star range, so at a 5 right now. Only pulled 1 copy of him, and he's doing the equal amount of damage as my MZ, who is almost 14 stars. So keep that in mind. Imagine this guy 14 stars, from what I've seen, is literally nuking in 1 to 2 cards. It's why units like MUI currently, you just can't have him in the 10 anymore, despite him gaining value before the festival again, because CMZ was his protector. You know, he's on pretty much this team, or this team, or any of the future lineups. MUI was kind of existing before the fest again, and now it's just very difficult to have him.
I agree. MUI should be top 10.
One mistake, and
it's
you're
victimized by Gogeta.
getting 1 and 2 carded by Super Gogeta. So this is the current list. You know, stated before, Android 13. Blast Disrupt is kind of nasty. General other disrupts, healing, the second life. This guy is a staple on all of his teams. Super Gogeta, same thing. He has the endurance null, the Oonga Boonga damage. You can fuse it instantly. You guys didn't already know, because you're you know, able to fuse after getting comboed or like dealing combos. You're gonna just get a quick fusion.
You fuse instantly if you're losing, not if you're winning. You fuse very slow if you're losing.
That thing handled and sorted out, but not a superstar gated unit like Janimbo.
He's not mentioning the biggest flaw of Gogeta, which I guess you don't want to talk about a flaw if they're number 1 on your list, I guess. I don't know. The flaw of him, which I don't even, like, I'm trying to think about Red MZ as my number 1. I don't even think does Red MZ even fucking have a flaw? Like, realistically, I don't think so. He has no disrupt when he's fused. That's great. We're talking about Super Gogeta. He's talking about Super Gogeta the entire time, not fusing into him, not prior. Super Gogeta. The biggest flaw and a very impactful thing that Red MZ and CMZ don't have is they have a disrupt. The gauge, 50% proc. The gauge, 50% proc. Both are disrupts. Both units have, and they happen very consistently. CMZ's reprocs every entry. Red MZ is going to keep procking it every single time, right? That's a big miss. You can't just be damage and just be the best unless you're doing such overwhelming damage that it's just not even close. He's even saying it's not that far bad. It's decently close. It's not that far bad. So this unit just having no defense utilities, you can't, it doesn't. If you catch CMZ in a 1v1, right, you might not kill him because of disrupt. You catch Red MZ in a 1v1, you might not kill him because of disrupt. Gogeta, you guaranteed will kill him if you are type neutral, obviously it's advantage, in a 1v1. You guarantee will. The others, there's a chance you might not. Gogeta, you guaranteed will. He's not a tank. He doesn't have any disrupt. You will. The others, you will not. Guaranteed, at least. That's the whole, like, that's the biggest issue with Gogeta in Gogeta.
So he's definitely going to play a huge
role. FSV and FGB had the same problem. They had no disrupts either when they fused. And that was a flaw. People noticed. There's nothing.
If I had to add honorable mentions, it probably...
Respectfully, honorable mentions don't mean shit to me. The top 10 is all that matters, and some of these top 10 don't even fucking matter because they shouldn't, you know, one of them, two of them shouldn't even fucking be here. But, okay. There's a lot here. I thought this list was interesting, and, you know, lo and behold, it was interesting. Yeah, Metal Cooler, I don't understand it. UV4 so far down, despite him getting helped. I don't know. Kidku not even top 10 is crazy to me. Kidku didn't fall off. It's more just, he's a leader slot guy, but isn't Name a Goku leader slot guy right now? I mean, you're just doing Name a Goku 13 and fucking Gogeta, right? So it's leader slot, and he's just cut off with movie shit, right? Or with 13 leader there, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of strange teams that were shown here, as well as again, Metal Cooler is above UV4, bro. Like what else do I say? You see that, you're like, huh, that's interesting, and I agree, that is interesting. I mean, let me know, guys, think of Virgil's top 10 list. I don't think it's great. Yeah, I don't think it's great. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.